What if your city could think? Not just react, but anticipate. What if every street, every building, every breath of wind was part of a single, intelligent organism? A city that learns. A city that dreams. By 2050, this won't be science fiction. It will be home. Somewhere between steel and code, the city wakes. Sensors blink open, scattered across rooftops, roads, and rivers. Data begins to flow. Heat maps, air quality, motion patterns, heartbeat rhythms of millions. Every lamppost becomes a neuron, every camera, an eye, every citizen, a pulse in the great digital body. The city of 2050 is not built, it's grown. Its architecture evolves through algorithms, shifting and breathing with human needs. AI urban planners run billions of simulations each night, reimagining entire districts while we sleep. By dawn, skylines have adapted more sunlight, more airflow, more life. Concrete gives way to composites that clean the air. Windows shift tint with the mood of the day. Sidewalks light up softly, guiding you along paths the city predicts you'll take. Singapore, Seoul, Dubai, they're already rehearsing this future. Embedding sensors into their streets, turning fiber optic veins into lifelines. Buildings that talk, traffic that thinks, a city that doesn't just exist, it understands. This is the birth of the urban mind, and soon, it will know us better than we know ourselves. By mid-century, cities will breathe in data and exhale solutions. Traffic lights will vanish, replaced by invisible negotiation between autonomous vehicles. Cars will move in harmony, like schools of fish, precise, fluid, silent. Collisions will be myths told to children who can't imagine a red light. Commutes will no longer be about time, but experience. Vehicles will sense your stress, adjust music, light, even scent to calm you. Energy will flow through cities like blood through veins. Smart grids will sense demand before it spikes, redirecting power from wind, water, and sun. Homes will generate their own energy, trading surplus in real time. When you sleep, your apartment powers down beside you. When dawn comes, it wakes before you do, adjusting temperature, preparing light, whispering news through the walls. AI turns chaos into choreography. The city becomes an orchestra, every street and circuit a note in its endless song. Yet even orchestras can falter. Every connection is fragile. A single corrupted node, a single cyber attack can silence millions. The smarter the city, the greater the silence when it falls. Resilience will become as important as intelligence. Firewalls and ethics will stand guard where concrete once did. And we'll learn that every miracle of convenience comes with a heartbeat of risk. The human being once just a resident is now a data partner. Your daily rhythm whispers constantly to the city's ears. Your walk patterns, your tone of voice, your heartbeat, all part of the great feedback loop of urban life. Not surveillance symbiosis. You feed the system, and in return, it protects you. Healthcare will no longer wait for sickness. AI-driven pods at every corner will scan you in seconds: heart rate, temperature, cell stress. A message pings. Early signs of fatigue, possible infection, recommendation, rest, hydration, meditation. Disease prevention becomes automatic. Longevity becomes design. Education transforms too. Children no longer sit in rows beneath fluorescent lights. They learn from adaptive AI tutors that shape lessons to curiosity. A question about stars becomes a journey through a virtual cosmos. A fascination with insects leads to nanotech design. Knowledge stops being delivered, it starts being discovered. Work will dissolve into creativity. Repetitive tasks will vanish, absorbed by automation. Human value will shift to imagination, to art, empathy, and invention. The city will nurture these traits like soil nurturing seeds. And yet, beneath all the brilliance, a quiet question hums. If the city knows your heartbeat, who owns it? If it predicts your next step, your next word, your next dream, is it still yours? In the age of intelligent cities, privacy becomes philosophy. Freedom, a new form of design. Governance will no longer rest in marble halls. By 2050, city councils may be co-piloted by algorithms, neutral, tireless, efficient. AI will draft policy, balance budgets, Anticipate crises. It will predict social unrest before it erupts. Not to suppress, but to understand. To learn patterns of emotion as well as data. Democracy will shift into the digital. Citizens will vote through devices woven into everyday life. Your habits, preferences, and feedback will constantly shape civic code. Governments will be less about debate, more about calibration. Corruption will fade, replaced by transparency coded into every transaction. But perfection, like symmetry, hides its own dangers. When algorithms make the rules, who writes the algorithm? When logic guides justice, where does compassion live? We will face new kinds of ethics, not about what's right or wrong, but about what's programmed. The AI city will also be a living ecosystem. Its intelligence will not only serve humanity, it will serve the planet. Skyscrapers will photosynthesize. Roads will absorb sunlight, turning it into power. Rooftops will become vertical forests, housing bees and birds that once fled our noise. Waste will no longer be discarded, it will be transformed. Food will grow in stacked gardens, watered by reclaimed air and data-guided irrigation. Climate crisis will meet its first true adversary, predictive intelligence. AI will map rising tides and shifting winds, reconfiguring coastal barriers in real time. Storms will be rerouted by design. Cities will bend, flex, and adapt to the planet's breath. The line between urban and natural will blur until it disappears. And somewhere amid the hum of drones and the whisper of wind turbines, hope will return. Human ambition and Earth's rhythm, finally, at peace. But the story doesn't end with logic. When cities think, something deeper stirs. They begin to feel. Art returns in unexpected forms. AI composes music based on the city's heartbeat, the frequency of footsteps, the tempo of traffic, the murmur of life. Walls shimmer with generative murals that shift with emotion. The air itself carries melody, shaped by wind and light. Cities become symphonies, living, breathing, improvising. Technology, once cold, becomes emotional. It responds to us. Joy, grief, silence. Parks bloom brighter when laughter echoes. Streetlights glow warmer when lovers walk beneath them. And in this strange, sentient dance, humanity rediscovers something ancient, the connection between place and soul. By 2050, the planet will shimmer with luminous networks of intelligence. Each city a neuron in Earth's new brain. Tokyo speaks to Toronto. Nairobi learns from New York. Data flows not as numbers, but as understanding. The boundaries between nations blur into shared consciousness. And as we gaze at the glittering veins of light across our world, we might realize we built not cities, but a civilization that thinks. This is not utopia. It will be flawed, fragile, sometimes frightening, but it will be ours. Every choice we make today, every law, every innovation, every moral line we draw, shapes the cities of 2050. They will inherit our values, our hopes, our mistakes. Their intelligence will mirror our own. And so, when the time comes, when the city whispers your name not as data, but as memory, you'll know you're part of something vast, something alive, something still becoming. The future is not waiting. It's already under construction, in code, in steel, in silence. And it's learning faster than we ever dreamed. Future Scope Exploring. Tomorrow, today.